Let me tell you something. If you'd told me last year I'd end up in a suburban standoff with a self-appointed HOA militia, I would have laughed you off my porch. But here I am, still sipping coffee, still standing, and if you want a story about power, pushback, and the fine art of neighborly revenge, pull up a chair because this one's got it all. I mean, really, where else? But Pinewood, do you buy a piece of peace and get a war instead? I moved out here edge of town thinking I'd finally earned a little quiet, earned it, After 2 tours in Afghanistan and a couple scars nobody can see, all I wanted was land where I could breathe me my dog Boone and enough oaks in the backyard to drown out every last city sound. The house itself. Yeah, it was a dump. The kind of place that creaked when you coughed and sighed when it rained. But an acre of freedom bordering Pinewood Estate's cheap too because the HOA folks didn't want a wild card on their map. That suited me fine. I wasn't stupid. Had a lawyer scan every inch of paperwork, double-checking the lines, the codes, the HOA fine print. My place was 100% outside their fiefdom. I even cracked a beer to celebrate signing the deed. But 2 weeks after moving in, I found my first official love letter from President Diana Shaw herself. The HOA logo, a signature that probably took her an hour to perfect, and some nonsense about my grass, my satellite dish, and the existential threat posed by my trash can. Grass was barely ankle-high, by the way. The only thing overgrown was her ego. I tossed it. Figured it'd blow over. Next week, new note now with threats, fines, and a total bill for $350. That one I mailed back, empty envelope, sticky note inside. Not a member. Stop. Didn't do a damn thing. If anything, it made them double down. That's when I met Roger Hannity. Picture every cop wannabe you've ever seen, mirrored shades, tactical vest about to split at the seams, SUV parked sideways like it's his kingdom. He came swaggering up my driveway one Saturday while I was on the porch fixing a floodlight. Boone barked first like he could smell the cheap cologne of insecurity. Morning, he goes, trying to square his shoulders. Afternoon, I answer, not even looking up. He tries his best routine, throws around titles like head of community safety, says something about my new camera tower. I tell him, yeah, I'm running a security consulting business, licensed legal, not his concern. He glares, mumbles into his walkie-talkie, and drives off in a puff of self-importance. That's when the real circus began. Suddenly it's certified letters, photos of my camera rig, accusations of unauthorized surveillance. Fines jumped to over $1,000. I'd had it. Got my lawyer to draft a cease and desist legalese maps, everything notarized. We dropped a copy at their mailbox shack, sent one by email, one by post. Not a peep in response, but now I had patrol SUVs parking across my driveway. Different guys each time, matching polos, dead-eyed stares, pretending to jog with GoPros on their heads. One day I caught one trying to open my mailbox. I came out fast. "You got a federal warrant, pal." He jumped like I'd pulled a gun. "That's a community box," he stammers. "Wrong. That's USPS on my property. You want the feds up your ass?" He bolted, but it wasn't over. Not even close. I did what Marines do best, prepared for escalation. Upgraded the camera's motion lights, thermal imaging, GPS collar for Boone. Started a log times faces license plates. Because I knew deep down this wasn't about trash bins or camera towers. It was about power, and these guys hated that someone existed just outside their control. Things got colder. Neighbors stopped waving. The librarian across the street crossed the road when I walked by. The kid next door stopped playing basketball. Then came the flyer's bold letters, community notice, surveillance threat in neighborhood. Didn't name me but didn't have to. Found one taped to my gate, another in the mail kiosk, one stapled to a tree by my property, all organized, all coordinated. That's when Mr. Banks rolled up, never spoken to him before. He sat in his truck and said, "You might want to watch your back. Roger and the HOA, they're pissed. Why tell me?" He shrugs, mumbles about serving in the military, drives off. Later, I get a new threat. "You are under observation. Cease unauthorized installations immediately or face legal consequences." No signature, no return address. Sent it to my lawyer, filed a county complaint, registered the tower as a legal testing site, covered every base, but the HOA just doubled down. The next week, they start a rumor campaign, website posts, wild speculation. Someone even asks if I'm recording kids. That one made me see red. Instead of responding, I added more cameras, floodlights, motion alarms, taught Boone to bark at flashlights, Started backing my truck in for a quick getaway just in case. Then came the real twist. Saturday morning, I head out to run errands and find Roger's SUV blocking my driveway, 4 of his patrol buddies with him matching polos, batons, pepper spray, walkie-talkies. Sunflower seeds spit in my grass. Boone's hackles go up. Roger puffs out his chest, wants to talk. I see it's a setup. I lock my gate, pull out my phone, call the cops. Dispatcher sounds bored. Is there an immediate threat? Not yet. We'll send a patrol when available. Translation: You're on your own, buddy. So I text my old crew Devil's Barbecue guys I served with, the ones who know how to show up when it counts. Need backup, not a joke. HOA thugs blocking me in. Then I get in my truck, hit record and wait. 4 hours. Roger's guys pace, knock, shout threats. One of them punctures my tire. I film everything. They start to sweat, get restless, but I hold my ground. Then like thunder, my crew arrives, 2 trucks, engines growling. My guys piling out like it's Sunday service, calm as saints, but twice as intimidating. Craig leads 6'6", built like a brick wall. He walks up to Roger, says, "You have 30 seconds to move your car and leave." Roger blusters about legally sanctioned enforcement. Craig just shrugs. "That's false imprisonment. We've got it all on video. Move." One of Roger's goons swings a baton. Craig disarms him in 2 seconds flat. Another tries to help, gets laid out by Danny. Miguel grabs a pepper spray and drops it in the dirt. Roger's boxed in, surrounded, and you can see the moment the bravado drains out of his face. He tries calling the police. Craig just holds up his phone. Already did. Told them to bring a real unit this time. Finally, sirens. Real ones. Cops roll in, lights blazing, blocking the street. Roger sprints over, howling about assault and official duties. The cop listens, then asks who owns the property. I step up, hand over my ID, and play back the dash cam footage. 4 hours of threats, vandalism, intimidation. The officers don't even let Roger finish. HOA is not law enforcement. You can't detain people, you can't vandalize property, you can't stage an armed standoff in a residential street. The cuffs go on. Roger's face, man. I wish I'd gotten a picture. Panic replacing pride. His crowd scattered, nobody left to cheer. Next day, the peace is eerie. No SUVs, no joggers, no side-eye from the neighbors. My lawyer calls, "You'll want to check the county website." Turns out the police forwarded my footage to the state. Now there's an official inquiry into Pinewood Estates HOA Security Committee. Spoiler, it's just Roger and his cosplay cops collecting fines for years, funneling money into a company he owned. The state attorney general gets involved. More neighbors come forward. Janine threatened over a trampoline. Mr. Chen car keyed for not donating. Brian harassed for flying a pride flag. It all unravels. Diana Shaw calls an emergency board meeting, tries to spin the story, but the leaked emails sink her. She'd written about isolating me and handling things quietly if the police wouldn't help. Local news picks it up, then regional. HOA board starts falling apart. Roger's security patrol disbands some of the guys, flip the feds, sniff around donations to the sheriff's office. They try to settle. Offer me $20,000 and a non-disclosure agreement. Just take down the videos. Keep quiet. I forward it to the state, share it with the other residents, and watch as the criminal charges stack up: false imprisonment, harassment, fraud, tax evasion, you name it. Diana gets nailed for conspiracy, fined, 30 grand, banned from holding office. The judge calls for a full audit of HOA finances. Another board member resigns every week. HOA ends up under county supervision, bleeding cash and credibility. Even the cops get a shakeup. Turns out Roger's donations might have helped him get ignored that first day. One officer is suspended, the dispatcher reassigned. I get a formal apology, framed it just for laughs. Through it all, the camera tower stands. I reinforced it, added floodlights, and made sure everyone knows it's not coming down. Roger moved out. His wife tossed his wannabe cop gear in the yard before the for sale sign even went up. New family moved in. Husband actually waved at me. The rest of the neighborhood quieter. No patrols, no drama. There's even a BBQ planned, first one in years. The new HOA president dropped off an invite and apologized. "We failed you." I told him, "You failed everybody." But I went. Brian, Janine, Mr. Chen, we all did. Sometimes doing the right thing just means refusing to sit down. Boone's calm again, sleeps on the porch, doesn't bark at shadows. Me. My business is booming. Turns out people trust a guy who stood up to a fake army in his own front yard. My buddies and I still get together, ribs and whiskey, telling stories. Craig jokes, Next time, let the cops handle it. I laugh. Just make sure they answer the damn phone. Here's what I learned: people who play at power never expect anyone to push back. They expect fear, silence, compliance. But when you find your line and stand it, sometimes you find out you're not alone. Brotherhood community, it's not about rules or borders. It's about resistance, about not shutting up when it counts. That's how real neighborhoods get built. That's how bad ones get burned down. So let me ask you, where's the line between order and overreach? When does a rule become a weapon? You ever had to stand up to the people who thought they owned you? Drop your thoughts below. Tell me your story. I'll be here, lights on, cameras rolling, just in case someone else forgets who owns this patch of earth.